is KJ here with you, another PopCon Celebrity Spotlight. We are just counting down the days to PopCon Louisville, June 16th through the 18th, and Ming Chen is going to be there with us. He is here with us now, and I have been at a few cons with you, but we've never crossed paths. We have several mutual friends, including spirit medium Tiffany Rice, who is also coming to PopCon. And Ming, everybody tells me you're going to bring the party to PopCon. Is this true?
It is true. They're not wrong. And Louisville is one of the best party cities out there. And I can't wait to be there. Fandom has changed since then as well. It's grown bigger, better, and everyone's dying to get out now, right? So
yes.
So if you're going to get out there, go to Louisville PopCon, June 16th to the 18th. It's going to be amazing. I love the city as well. So, yeah, you guys do it right. Last call, most bars are 4 a.m. and the drink prices are Louisville drink prices. So, not like up here, like New Jersey, New York. So, we're gonna have a great weekend, my friends.
Yeah, it is amazing that those bars don't want to close, man.
Yeah, and yeah, I got into a discussion. Fellow guest Ross Marquand.
Yes,
also coming, June 16th to the 18th. There he is. There's us hanging out, having fun. We we love going to conventions. He's in 2 huge franchises right now, Walking Dead and the Marvel Universe, and but what I love about Ross is he's a fan. He's a geek. Mm-hmm. He collected action figures when he was a kid. We watched the X-Men cartoon when we were kids. We played video games. So all the people coming up to us like, oh man, we love what you do. Like we're the same. We're fellow geeks. And I think when people are like, oh, whoa, that's cool. The guy I likes the same things I do. That's pretty cool. I guess that's kind of why Comic Book Men worked, the show I was on.
Yeah.
People saw me playing with G.I. Joe figures and Transformers. Like, okay, this guy I'm watching on TV, he's kind of funny. They make fun of him, but he loves the same stuff I do, and I love that. So, yeah, you're getting a bunch of people at PopCon who, not only just appearing and they're in the stuff that you like, they're nerds. They're nerds. I think you invited a lot of cool nerds to this con.
Another one, Cooper Andrews.
Cooper Andrews, who, if you know from Walking Dead or Shazam, by Walking Dead, he's known for eating cobbler, loves cobbler. Mm-hmm. So, eating cobbler with Cooper could happen at the convention. So sometimes like a cobbler party just breaks out. So you just never know.
It's a beautiful thing. And I think you're right. We grew up and it seemed like we had to, we almost didn't talk about being a nerd. I didn't talk about my Captain America comic books. And now I literally have life-size Captain America in my office, it's just such a beautiful thing. And I think the convention world has open that up, that community of like, no, there's a lot more nerds than what you think. And even nerding out about some of the mainstream stuff. I don't know if you've done any conventions with Scott Patterson, but the Gilmore Girls fans, they might not think that they're convention people. You're convention people. Like you come, you're going to realize you're convention people.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott Patterson, great guy. Gilmore Girls. He was in the Saw movies, I believe. As well. Yes. So he knows what's up. He knows what's going on out there. Yeah, I love that everything's represented, right? So before it was like, okay, maybe you kind of just like Star Wars or Star Trek, or you're into a cartoon or two, but now it's all encompassing. And the explosion of anime and voice acting is one that's kind of relatively new, and I love it. I remember watching like anime in high school and college, and I remember I was like, all right, these are pretty cool. Some was even too nerdy for me, I thought at the time. And I would have honestly, and I watched a lot of it in Asia, and I was like, all right, this is cool, but I think this might be too deep for American audiences. And it turns out it's not. It's not only has been embraced here, but it's taken off huge. High school kids in particular gotten way into anime, like, you know, where they get into discussions and arguments about it in their anime clubs at high schools. I love it. I think it's amazing. I love seeing Death Note and One Piece and Avatar cosplays now at convention. It gives me, I guess it gives me hope that
yes,
is not only alive and well but growing. So it's pretty cool.
Well, let's talk about how you ended up in this crazy life of yours. For those of you who don't know, kind of share, because it's just so interesting how you really got you know, immersed into the Kevin Smith world, and then have become your own host of your own podcast, reality TV, content creator. Give the geeks hope out there. How did this all come about?
Here's how I'm going to give you hope, my friends. So, I really have no talent. I don't draw. I don't write. You know, I do a little bit of graphic design, and sometimes I'm funny, but, you know, at large, what I think I'm kind of talented at is loving pop culture and comics and toys. And I remember growing up, people, you know, all the adults were like, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do in life? You know, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or, you know, engineer?" And I didn't. What I wanted to do, and I kept it hidden, but finally they bugged me with this question so much that I just answered it honestly. I told them what I wanted to do in life. I wanted to read comic books, I wanted to collect toys, and I wanted to play video games and watch movies. And of course, I got laughed at. And, you know, even my own mom was like, "Listen, no one's going to pay you to read comic books. No one's going to pay you to love pop culture. You can't make a living doing that. And especially no one's going to pay you to play video games. That's just silly." And, you know, 4 billion Twitch streamers and a lot of the higher ones will tell you that that's absolutely wrong now in this day and age. You know, there are several multimillionaires getting paid handsomely to play video games. They got advertisers. And so I think I got pretty lucky. Thank God I didn't listen to them.
Yeah.
I held on to my beliefs. I followed what I loved. I followed my heart. And I wound up on a TV show about comic books, toys, and sometimes video games, pop culture. So it kind of worked out. And I got connected with Kevin because I was a fan. I saw his first movie, Clerks, back in 1995. And I needed a way to channel my fandom somehow. I became such a big fan of Kevin Smith and that one movie that he made in particular. So I just went, I made a fan website. I made a fan Clerks website, and he ended up seeing it. And he called me out of the blue. He was like, "Hey, I love what you did with this website. You look like a real fan, you know, and I want you to work with me because I know as a fan, you know, if you're a fan of somebody and they hire you, no one's going to work harder than that fan because they love what you do, like 24/7. So I think he realized that the internet was about to take off because when I made this fan website, it was 1995. So,
oh wow,
pre-Google, pre-streaming, pre-Instagram, pre-TikTok, any of this, pre-Google.
Were you using dial-up to connect to build the website, right?
I was using a modem with the scratchy noises and everything to upload stuff and create this website. But he recognized that there was a future in you know, cultivating a fan community online, you know, where people didn't have to be physically present. But so we did. I made him this whole website. I was kind of his social media manager before there was any social media. So that Kevin, as self-deprecating as he is, he's always 1 or 2 steps ahead of everybody else. But it was cool. You know, he hired me because I was a fan that just kind of had a particular skill. But I worked on that skill because I was a fan, oddly enough, you know, because I wanted to put up a Clerks fan website. And basically what we ended up doing is we worked together, building a whole online community, website, message boards, which led to physical events, film festivals. And there have been times he credited me. He was like, "Hey, you know, when you came along, just made Mallrats, didn't do that well." And I'd met him right before he started making Chasing Amy. And he kind of saw that he had fans all over the world. And he was like, hey, that website kind of kept me going, was a motivating factor. Kind of telling me, it's like, "Hey, just because the movie I made before maybe didn't do as well as I thought it was, a lot of people watched it, and I got a lot of fans out there. So I think it gave him hope, which was pretty cool.
That's amazing. And then fast forward to being a fan of Clerks, so much so that you built a website, and then you're in Clerks 3.
I'm in Clerks 3.
What?
Crazy. So if you haven't seen Clerks 3 yet, I got to play hockey on the rooftop of the Quick Stop, which is a pivotal moment in the first Clerks movie. When I first saw the first Clerks movie, I was like, whoa, these guys closed the store. They're playing hockey on the roof. I love hockey.
Yeah.
I love, insubordination, I guess. just leaving work to go play hockey. And they did it on the roof, which I thought was really cool. And I love hockey. So that was a pivotal moment. It was like, no one would put this in a movie, but this guy did, and I love it. Fast forward, I guess 27 years later, I'm on that roof in a hockey jersey playing against the two main characters in the third installment. Pretty mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
It's a moment.
Yeah, that's a fanboy's dream. That would be like, you watch Star Wars and then years later you get into a lightsaber battle with like Darth Maul or something.
Yes.
Or Jedi, or you become one of the Jedi. It's like, that's great. To me, that's how big that moment was for me. It was like being a Jedi in a Star Wars movie.
Well, let's talk about PopCon Louisville. Again, it's June 16th through the 18th. I always encourage people, we get nervous, right? Like, oh my gosh, that's really Ming Chen. You want people to come up to you, right?
Yeah,
like that's what you're there for.
Please say hello. I get a lot of people, I can see they pass by the table and they're kind of maybe wave to me. No, come over. What I want is for, if you've seen the show or you saw Clerks 3, or maybe my history with Kevin, or maybe you listen to some of my podcasts, please come over and say hello. Don't be shy. I came all this way to meet you. And I just want to geek out with you. I want to know, what's your fandom? What are you into? Because I'm probably into it as well. I want to discuss these things. If you saw the show and maybe you have a favorite episode or a favorite celebrity that came on, I want to talk about it because I want to give you the inside scoop on what happened that day. What was it like meeting Stan Lee? What was it like meeting Adam West? What was it like when Rob Macchio came on the show and taught me how to wax on, wax off? Pre-Cobra Kai, what was it like when Rob Macchio pulled me aside and was like, hey, so we're working on this thing. It's kind of a continuation. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I hope you see it and like it. It's like, oh man, that sounds awesome. But what's it called? It's called Cobra Kai. It's like, that sounds cool, man. Yeah, I want to get
that so funny how that came about. And then it was just kind of out on YouTube. Yep. YouTube wasn't even really doing original content yet. Yep. It was like, what is it?
I remember being at a con in Albuquerque when he was there with Billy Zabka, and they were telling me that they were working on this thing, and they kind of keep it quiet, but don't, because we want people to watch it and to see what it's become. I'm so happy for those guys. But yeah, got a lot of inside stories for you guys if you want to hear them. The podcast stories you want to hear about Kevin, whatever, come over and say hello for sure. And I'll have some cool stuff too. I'm bringing an original comic book based on comic book men that'll be out there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, things like that. If you want a picture, sign autograph photo of me and Stan Lee, I got those. So but mainly I'm there to have fun. I'm there to have fun just like you are. I love going to conventions because I've been going to them forever, and to see them grow into what Louisville PopCon has become, like, that makes me happy. That's just a great, it's what I always dreamed of, like a large con in a major city where everyone can come out and have fun.
Yes. And, you had mentioned the bar time earlier. We also have, we're going to have DJs every night starting at 7 until we don't want to party anymore. So, it's the first time that PopCon has done a nightlife focus, where it's like we have all these things going on after hours. We have the DJs, we have magic shows, we have spirit medium Tiffany Rice, who's going to be doing a gallery reading. So there's just going to be like a nonstop all weekend long. Yeah. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited that you're going to be there. We'll be doing a panel on Sunday. I'll be moderating your panel. So
amazing. Okay, this will be great. I go to the panels, everybody. The panels are a unique opportunity for you to get up and close with the stars of your favorite shows and have the opportunity to ask them a question, maybe one that you've had for years. And yeah, I just feel like a panel is like a party on a stage with your favorite cast members of whatever you're into.
Yes.
It's cool. Some of them are like reunion panels. You know, some of your favorite cast members haven't seen each other in years, maybe, you know, since they worked on whatever project that you're into. And it's a great energy, and I love that the fans get to participate. You know, as me up there, I want you to ask questions. I want to share the answers with, you know, everybody who comes. So definitely go to the panels.
Yes, I think a lot of times, especially people who are maybe new, they miss out on that. They don't know what what a panel is, or they don't know because the panel rooms are somewhere else. And it's like, dude, you can literally sit in a room with your favorite celebrity and just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bunch of people gathered together. And I always love, you know, when I moderate, because I am a fan, right? I'm representing. I'm like, let's get to the fan questions as soon as possible, because I know what it's like to sit there and be like, oh, I hope I get a chance to, you know, ask my questions.
Right.
So it's just so much fun to, kind of like you, I like to be in this position where I am a fan, I am a geek, I am a nerd, and to be able to have these parties, these conventions where everybody is coming together, and it doesn't even matter what your fandom is, because if I don't know what it is, like, I want to know about it, right? If someone tells you they're a fan of a certain game or anime, or it's like, tell me about it, because maybe it's something I want to be a fan of too, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think one of the things we love as being a fan or a geek or a nerd or whatever you want to call it is discovering something first, right? So, you know, when we find, you know, maybe an anime or maybe an obscure movie or a TV show or a comic or something, and we're like, whoa, this is really cool. And none of my friends know about this, but this is so cool. I want to tell them about it. And then later on, your friends will be like, oh man, that thing's cool. Ming introduced me to this, or, you know, or KJ brought this up to me and brought it to my attention. That's one of the greatest thrills about being a fan, is finding something cool and then telling all your friends about it. Kind of be that person who discovered it first. So,
and so much cool stuff to discover at PopCon Louisville with the celebrities, the artists, the authors, the content creators. PopCon Louisville, June 16th through the 18th. You can get your tickets at popcon.us, and we will see you there. Ming, thanks so much for being on the show.
I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait to see you guys. So come on out. We're going to have a great time.